What are the regulatory barriers in Brazil? First of all, 2.5 gigahertz is not allowed for broadband, whether fixed, nomadic, or mobile. Okay. Another problem that we're having is that 3.5 gigahertz is not allowed, is allowed for fixed usage only, and not for nomadic and mobile. And also the regulations are leaning towards FDD and paired channel assignments. This has been the result of strong 3G lobbying funds. So it's getting more, the 3G incumbents are pushing FDD to LTE and trying to influence the regulators so that the spectrum assignments for WiMAX cannot get in there. WiMAX fundamentally supports FDD, but the devices are not mature. Right? We're going to have to get testing and all of that. Well, all of the WiMAX devices today, about 95% of them are TDD devices. There's no clear prospect for mobile broadband spectrum auctions. The delay tactics of 3G lobby is working very well in Brazil. Okay? Whereas in India, there have been announcements on auctions happening, and the Indian government came out and said, by the way, it's going to be mobile. I don't want to hear about, my business is going to be threatened and all of that. We need mobile broadband in India today. We're going to provide the auctions and let it happen. Russians did the same thing. US did the same thing, whereas in Brazil today we're facing these regulatory barriers. Summary. Internet is the major driver for economy and the growth of it globally, especially in emerging countries. Mobile internet is absolutely essential in accelerating this growth. And a lot of people say, when you say that, they say, well, why do you need internet to be mobile? As long as it's fixed, even fixed is not available. Why don't we start with doing fixed first and then we do mobile step by step? The fact is, the power of internet, when it's available everywhere, is 100 times the power of internet when it's not available, when you have to go to it. Just think about it, that the kids can take a netbook, the netbook, they're always connected, they can go to their school, they can come home, they're always connected, they don't have to search for connectivity anywhere, and it completely brings a whole bunch of new business models that enables to provide for this huge cost of infrastructure. It's absolutely essential for internet to go mobile. And when I say that, I don't have anything to back it up. If you remember, when the cellular was happening, there was a lot of people that were saying cellular voice is going to revolutionize the world. And a lot of people were laughing and said, well, who's going to carry these phones with this big thing and go, like, why do you need it in a car? And you saw how it revolutionized, the cellular voice revolutionized our lives. Now imagine, that was only a voice connection. Imagine that you have the Library of Congress in your pocket. You have access to all the information globally, everywhere you are. What power can that unleash? And that's the important thing to remember. Mobile internet requires a revolution in technology business because it's not evolution of legacy networks. We've had these kind of arguments before. ISDN, if you remember, a lot of people were saying broadband connectivity on wire is the evolution of voice networks. Let's do ISDN, broadband ISDN. There were people going to broadband ISDN. What happened? Revolution, DSL, DOCSIS. These kind of technologies came in and took broadband in a completely different way than circuit-switch networks. ATM versus Ethernet, and Wi-Fi versus Hyper-V. Those are all examples of this. Mobile WiMAX is the first generation OFDM MIMO technology, and it's available today. Okay? Nobody has come up with any other new technology other than this. And it's the first generation, and it's ready, it's mature. It's gone through already 4 years of maturity, interoperability testing, a very healthy ecosystem. It's backward compatible. The technology roadmap at 60 Mbps to meet mobile internet requirements in 2011. So it's not a one-shot technology. We have a roadmap for it. And the other thing is that Brazil really must remove the barriers of adoption of mobile WiMAX 4G today and unleash this mobile internet revolution in this country, because it's absolutely needed. So we should not let the 3G lobby and the incumbents stop availability of the technology in the country. So I said all of these things, a lot of technical jargon, a lot of economic jargon, but the fact of the matter is we shouldn't lose the big picture. And the big picture is that internet is changing lives of the people. That people depend on internet in order to grow and become economically independent. Look at the impact of cellular phones in the villages in India and think about what happens if little kids in India have the same access as those rich kids in the US and Europe to the same information. They have the Library of Congress in their fingertips. What kind of power can it unleash? And I'm sure you've seen the events in Iran, and I think this was dear to me because I came from that country. I ran away, and I had always been, people thought that the Iranian population was always happy with the government, that somehow the people wanted that government. And I was aware, because my family was there. I know that there was uprising in 1979, there was uprising in 1981, there was uprising in 1987, there was uprising in 1999, there was uprising in 2003. None of it came up. But this year, you saw it over all your screens because of the power of internet. That's what internet will do. It will democratize the world, and that's the big picture in terms of the impact that it has. And we should not ever lose that big picture.